So we got Netflix anime. So originally they posted this, as we can see, hints of what's to come, of the four main characters that are going to be appearing in the live action adaptation. Yusuke Urameshi, which we've got right here. And I was really indifferent about Yusuke's look. I mean, you've got his green outfit, which is darker than what I recall in the anime. I think it was more of a lighter green. And, you know, in the end, I'm just like, whatever. It's Netflix. They're going to fuck it up somehow, in some way, shape, or form. So, I don't know if you guys can see it. The hair. Capturing the anime pompadour inside of a live-action series or a live-action movie or what have you is, to me at least, I think pretty much impossible to really do without it looking corny or literally like a cosplay. The Rurouni Kenshin live action series was kind of like my, hey, if you want something that I thought at least worked, by no means is it a big masterpiece or anything like that, but it worked, and for me it was pretty solid. I really like what they did with Anishi here. If you take a look at his hair, there's hints of black strands into it, because originally in the story he had black hair, he saw his sister's death, and it turned white from the shock of it. And this is what we see that I think can really work, and if they really focused on. So we can actually, zooming in actually really didn't really do anything. I can zoom in, I guess, this way, but now I have to control it. So, but you can see the hints. I think this is kind of the right way to go about in introducing the hairstyle of anime characters into, you know, our reality or into the real world, I guess you could say. I think going too colory, if that's even a word with it, is a bit too much, because I don't think it's going to flow well overall in the end. And another example would be kind of what Christopher Nolan did with Joker. Like, notice how his hair isn't just all green. In fact, Jack Nicholson's Joker did the same thing. There was hints of gray into it, and the green was more of the highlight. The same thing can be said with Christopher Nolan. In fact, I think Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy pretty much found the successful way of balancing it to where we can be convinced enough that this universe is taking place into our universe and is reality, but having all those hints there to showcase that, yeah, chances are it probably doesn't exist. Definitely with the live action series, but the action scenes in that and the choreograph is really good. But of course you could tell at times there was, you know, wires being used and whatnot, but they used that to capture certain, I noticed certain panels of the manga. Like, you can actually see the moves being done. They don't do the anime announcing what the move name is, but you could see it. And I think I think Nolan has pretty much set the way of how you can successfully bring in pretty much anything into our universe if it's done correctly. So going back to the Twitter, so right now, I mean, with Yusuke, again, I don't really care one way or another. If anything, I know he kind of has that green highlight, I believe, in his hair. Maybe showcase that a little bit more, but don't make it too prominent. But the big thing, and you'll see this with other people, is the outfit. Now, to me, this looks very clean and very crisp to the point where it's coming off more cosplay than anything. This, to me, doesn't look like a high school uniform. It should be more beat up. It should be more, you know, ripped. If Yusuke's a rebel, you know, he's doesn't really like taking orders from people. He's a tough guy. So this looks too clean to me to be Yusuke. And of course that can change when the action scenes happen and whatnot. The next one that they revealed was Kurama. And this is where I think it's starting to really fail. Because to me, now this just looks like a cosplay. This looks like a cosplay fan film that's being made here, and that's not what you want. Kurama, since he's very elegant, the crisp and clean outfit could work with him. But the hairstyle, for me, isn't working. Now, we haven't seen the environment that they're placed in, and maybe if the environment matches the coloring that they're introducing with the characters, it might work. Same thing with the Cowboy Bebop. It looks like a cosplay fan film. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people bitched about Phase outfit, which could definitely be better. But I think going that route of introducing the costumes to be set into that environment might have been a better way to go. Obviously, they want to capture the iconic looks of everybody. And with Faye, for example, it could have been made to where maybe at some point her costume got all ripped up and stuff, and she donned the costume that we all know is kind of like a fan service. But we all know that the Cowboy Bebop live action wasn't about giving the fans what they were asking for. It was about inserting SJW bullshit into the show. And that's something, not that show, but that's something we'll go on later. So then we have Hiei here, and this really pisses me off. One thing that a nitpick thing for me is that you see the stitch right here. Why the fuck can't you just have that moved over here? That really bothers the shit out of me. I don't know why, but this is, and then rocking that turtleneck, okay. And this out, to me, this doesn't capture Hiei at all. Yeah, definitely the turtleneck needs to go. And here we go, Kuwabara. This one just made me laugh. Notice anything that's different that when you think of Kuwabara, you kind of not immediately go to, but something that makes him stand out above the others? Yeah, his orange hair. Orange hair? I mean, here's my balding head, but, as a kid, my hair was very vibrant. But are you kidding me? This could have been the prime example of having that redness added into it, but don't let it get overpowered over like the natural hair color, because when put into the right lighting, it can really shine, and that could actually do something to here. But this is just crazy. And again, the costume, it's clean and crisp. These are both like high school students that literally fight in the beginning each other and then with each other. This is insane. This is insane why this is so prim and proper. It literally makes me think of V for Vendetta on how he kept his costume, but that was intentional. And like I said, anything, Kurama should be the one with the very elegant setup, because he's that elegant, charismatic sort of character. I have a sneaking suspicion this is not going to be good. It's going to fucking blow, and it's going to suck. And I want to point out here, too, that we do have a quote from the director that I just want to point out to you guys why my suspicions of this sucking can kind of be seen, and I will not be surprised if it does happen. So IGN got some statements from the director, Sho Tsukikawa, and this is what he says. When I first heard about Yu Yu Hakusho receiving a live-action adaptation, I honestly wonder if it would even be possible. But after being presented with the producer's vision and possibilities with Netflix, my expectations grew, and I found myself burning with passion to make this project come to life. I mean, good. I'm glad you're passionate about it. More than anything, I think the appeal of Yu Yu Hakusho comes from its characters, which is why I wanted to highlight the appealing relationship and battles in Yu Yu Hakusho. So out of that statement, did you guys happen to catch something that at least makes me go, this isn't going to be good, no matter how passionate you are? Right there. But after being presented with the producer's vision, if the writing sucks, everything else is going to suck. No amount of pretty effects, no amount of action scenes, no amount of giving to the fans the iconic look that we all know from the show. If the writing sucks, the writing is going to suck. That's the problem. What is the producer's vision? So far, we've seen with Netflix adaptations, it's not for the story. Hell, Cowboy Bebop, they had to retcon shit because there was some grave social injustice that was occurring with a character, and, Faye needs to be shown as a powerful woman, even though she is a powerful woman in the original series, but she's not the main character. This put me on red alert with this series right there. The producer's visions. That's not good. Not good at all. The other thing, too, was down here, appealing relationships and highlighting said appealing relationships. What does that mean? I don't even want to know. But that just, to me, that leaves a bunch of shit open for some SJW garbage being fisted in there. So he says there's going to be plenty of action scenes, which Again, in the end, literally, my roommate and I were talking about this. And we both agreed, especially him. If the story sucks, everything's gonna suck. You need, and this is Hollywood, of course, and I already have a theory about this. They're just retconning all the successful franchises so that down in the future, they're hoping their version stands out against what originally where everything came from, and that they, again, in the end, they have to be seen as correct and get the praise. But that's going down another rabbit hole. But no amount of action scenes can save this if the story is hot garbage. The visual effects we use are quite advanced, and we utilize cutting-edge technology, okay, aimed for the best quality we can achieve. But one of the things I've noticed a lot of movies struggle with is making clearly 3D animated elements fit inside a realistic universe. For example, the shitty Ghostbusters 2016 movie, which I have yet to see, and I will never see it because it's hot garbage. I hope it loses all its money. That right there was like that live action Scooby-Doo, to where it's like it's so absurdly bright that it doesn't fit with the dark, realistic atmosphere that you're trying to create. But, we'll see what happens. Lastly, from the very beginning, we are strongly aware of creating a series for a global audience. Are you now? Are you really aware, or are you listening to certain people's awareness of what they want to have produced? Again, the producer's vision. Just like when I first heard about this adaptation, there may be people out there who feel it's an impossible undertaking. It's not that it's an impossible undertaking. It's the fact that they just want a fucking adaptation of the story. It doesn't have to be exactly from the show. That's the whole point of being a director, is to bring a new spin to everything. But when the focal point of taking a series and producing a new story is, can this story fit in with that universe? The Dragon Ball Evolution movie sure as hell doesn't fit anywhere. That's hot garbage. Does that fit along with what the series did that made it so iconic and so impressionable and touched many people? Not that way, though. So far, Netflix has done a shit job. They have done an absolute shit job. The Rurouni Kenshin series, like I said, Warner Brothers was mostly in charge of creating that. So that's why I think that one kind of weaseled away from having bullshit being put into it. Just like when I first heard about this adaptation, there may be people out there who feel it's an impossible undertaking. It's not an impossible undertaking. No one just wants SJW bullshit crammed into it. And no matter how many ways I express how I feel, I believe the work will speak for itself and prove it's possible. Boy, we can only hope. I will continue to pour my heart and soul into the project to deliver the best entertainment from Japan to the world. That's all fine and dandy. Again, if the story sucks, everything else sucks. Smash that like button, hit that thumbs up, turn on notifications to know when I go live. I do live streaming around 8 p.m. Central Time. Check me out then. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys think about this. Are you guys confident that this series could be successful? I want to hear about it. Until then, adios, and I'll catch you on the flip side.